Ever really, truly looked at your lunch and wondered what's going on in there? Well, today we're doing just that. We're launching a full-on culinary investigation to find out what's really inside the food we eat every single day. Let's dive in. Okay, so let's start with a sight we all know, a plate of food. We've got some chapatis, some dal, a veggie dish. Looks pretty normal, right? But here's the thing. The variety on this plate isn't just about making it taste good. There's actually a secret mission happening right here. And yeah, that's the big question for our investigation today. Why do our meals usually look like this, with a little bit of this and a little bit of that? What's the hidden purpose behind it all? Turns out the answer is pretty fascinating, and it's all about what's hiding inside the food itself. To get that answer, we've got to look a little closer. The first part of our investigation is all about identifying what those crucial components are. The stuff your body is really looking for when you eat. And here they are. These essential components are called nutrients. For our investigation, let's think of them as our key suspects. The major players we're on the lookout for are carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals. And trust me, each one has a really important job to do. So, how do we actually find these nutrients? You can't see them, right? Well, you don't need a fancy high-tech lab. For our investigation, we just need a few simple detective tools to help us crack the food code and see what's really in there. First up, we're going to hunt for a major type of carbohydrate called starch. And the test is so simple, you could do it at home. You just take a small bit of food, add a couple of drops of a dilute iodine solution, and then you just watch. See what happens. And check this out, you can see the test happening right here. They're testing a potato. The potato is our food of interest, and that iodine solution, that's kind of like our truth serum. They're just waiting to see what secrets it reveals. And bam, there's our clue. If you see that sudden, dramatic change to a deep blue-black color, it means we found starch. The mystery of the carbohydrate in that food is solved. Case closed on that one. Okay, on to our next suspect, fat. Now this test, it might be the easiest one of all. Seriously, you just take your food, wrap it up in a piece of paper, and give it a good crush. Then you just carefully open up the paper and take a look. And this is the telltale sign. If you see an oily patch on the paper, one that makes it kind of see-through when you hold it up to a light, you've found fat. See? A super simple but really effective piece of food detective work. All right, so we've used our detective tools, and we've proven these nutrients are really in there. So now, let's build a proper profile for each of our key suspects. What's their story? What exactly do they do for us? First up, carbohydrates. These guys are the main energy fuel for your body. You'll find them as starches in foods like potatoes and rice, or sugars in things like fruit. Honestly, just think of them as the gasoline for your car. Without carbs, you're just not going to get very far. They give you the power to get through your day. Next on our list, we've got proteins. And these are the bodybuilders. Their entire job is about growth and repair. Every time you get a cut that needs to heal or your muscles need to recover after you work out, you've got proteins to thank for that. They are literally building and maintaining the structure of you 24/7. And we absolutely cannot forget the support crew, vitamins and minerals. Now, you only need them in smaller amounts, but their roles are absolutely critical. Think of them as your body's security guards and maintenance team. Vitamin C helps you fight off diseases. Vitamin A is crucial for healthy eyes. And minerals like calcium are the foundation for strong bones. Oh, and don't overlook dietary fiber and water. They're the unsung heroes that keep the whole system running smoothly. So, we've met all the key players, we know what they do. But just having them all isn't quite enough. They've got to work together. And for that, you need a master plan. Let's call it the Balanced Diet Blueprint. This, right here, is the ultimate goal of our entire investigation. A balanced diet isn't about finding one superfood. It's about making sure your body gets all these different nutrients that it needs, and, this is key, in the right amounts. Not too much, not too little. Plus, plenty of that fiber and water we talked about. It's all about the mix. So what happens if we just ignore the blueprint? What if that balance is way off? Well, this is where the stakes of our investigation get really high, because getting it wrong can have some pretty serious consequences. An unbalanced diet can go wrong in two main ways. On one side, if you're getting too little of a certain nutrient for a really long time, it can lead to something called deficiency diseases. But on the other side, eating way too much of certain foods, especially those loaded with fat, can lead to other big health problems, like obesity. To really understand this too much problem, let me introduce you to someone from our source material. His name is Bujo. And Bujo, well, he had an idea. He thought that since fats give you tons of energy, they must be the best food to eat all the time. So that's what he did. He ate nothing but food that was super rich in fats. And here's how his little experiment turned out. Bujo was definitely wrong. Eating way too much fat-rich food can actually be really harmful for you, and it can lead to a condition called obesity. It's a pretty powerful lesson in why more isn't always better when it comes to nutrition. Okay, now let's look at the other side of that coin, getting too little. This chart shows just a few examples. Like, not having enough vitamin C can cause scurvy, that infamous disease you hear about with old-time sailors. Not getting enough vitamin A can lead to vision problems. And if you're low on iron, that can cause anemia, which just makes you feel weak all the time. These deficiencies have real, tangible effects on our bodies. Which brings us right back to where we started, your plate. We've cracked the code, we've met all the nutrients, and we've seen why getting the balance right is so important. We now know that variety in a meal isn't just random, it's a blueprint for your health. So the final question of our investigation is this. What story is your plate telling? Is it a balanced one? Definitely something to think about.